Hi, good people. My name's Titus, and today we're going to be implementing a tilt-shift photography technique that changes the orientation of the camera with respect to the image sensor. I recently saw a trailer on a game called Expedition 33 that appears to use this technique for their world map, and it looked absolutely amazing. Alright, let's not waste any time and just jump right into it. So I have a basic demo scene from Dreamscape right here. It's a little bit too bright, so I'm going to try darkening it with a post-process volume. So we'll come to the add menu, type in post-process, drag that in. You can place it anywhere. If you scroll down near the bottom, we are looking for a checkbox that says infinite extent unbound. When you check that, it means that everything that the post-processing settings will affect the entirety of the world. If you leave this unchecked, then the effect only applies to objects inside the cube. So you could scale the cube up to a certain size and only do it for like a portion of your map. So that might be helpful depending on your project. But once that's set, let's go ahead, come to the top, and for the exposure, I'll enable the metering mode, and I'm going to set that to 0 for the compensation, and then I'll set the min and max EV to be 1. And the exposure, I actually want this to be 0. And then we're kind of left with this sort of scene, and I think this fits a little bit better. So we only need to make a few edits to the player character. So I'm using the third person template. So come to the third person folder, then blueprints, and then double click on the BP underscore third person class. The only edits we're going to make are going to be the spring arm. In this blueprint, it's called camera boom. The target arm length is a bit too close, so I'm going to bump that out to maybe 1500. I think anything above 1000 is probably pretty good. This effect works better the farther away your camera is, just by the nature of what it's doing. So anything like above 1000 should be good. Whatever you set here, make sure to make a note, because we're going to have to set that in the actual focal distance for the sensor on the depth of field, but I'll call that out later. Now, because the camera is so far away, we're going to want to go to the camera settings and actually reduce the field of view to be 50 degrees, and that'll just zoom in the picture so it doesn't appear so far away. So we'll compile, save, we'll head back to our scene, give it a quick play, and this is going to be sort of the camera angle that we're working with. Let's go ahead and head back into the post-process settings. So you can select your post-process volume in the outliner. And then we're going to come down to the camera and the depth of field settings. So we need to adjust the f-stop, the sensor width, and the focal distance. Those are basically the only three we're going to be messing with. So the lower the f-stop, the better. So say I bump it to like a 1. The sensor width, I'd say anything above 250 is good. Let's say we do 500. And then the focal distance should be your spring arm distance. So if you're setting that dynamically, you'll want to set up a way where you adjust this dynamically as well. Otherwise, your character is going to be out of view and it'll look a little funny. And just with those, few settings here, you get a much different atmosphere to your project. And then, like I said, when I saw the Expedition 33, it looked like the effect was just on their world map. So if you remember those old school, like Final Fantasy, where they, when you hit the world map, you're actually a character moving around in a simplified view. It's kind of like that, and I just thought it looked absolutely amazing. And it's a relatively easy effect to replicate. So, maybe try it out on some of your projects, see how it goes. But all right, everyone. I think we'll cut the vid here to keep it short, but I hope you found some informative value in this topic that you can take into your own projects. But as always, thanks for watching, consider subscribing, and we'll see you on the next one.